Do you want to become a better listener? I have the core or the golden rule of being an excellent listener. And by the way, it's not that confusing or it's not that challenging, regardless of who you are. The way we become really good listeners is we make sure that the person we're talking to is telling us really interesting stuff. Maybe that catches you that way. And so, how do we ensure the people that we're talking to are talking about really interesting stuff? Is we ask questions that get them into a place to talk about the things that they're most interested in talking about. When we learn, when we figure out the things that people are most interested in, most passionate about, and want to talk about, they tend to talk about those things with great enthusiasm and great detail. And the stuff they share teaches us things that we would never know otherwise. And so, if you think about this from a relational perspective or from a sales perspective, how do I listen better? I got to get them talking about things that they truly want to talk about, things that are so interesting to them that it's almost like really hard not to be interested in listening to them. And so the takeaway is what questions can you ask and how can you ask those questions so that you are terribly interested in hearing everything the person has to say. And so that starts with two tools, and we're going to share both of them right here. The first one is the question has to be open ended. It has to be open ended because if we ask an open ended question, we get people out of the instinctive brain. So many questions we ask are closed ended. Do you want to do this? Are you good at that? When we're able to live in a world of yes and no, we're able to answer things from a instinctive perspective. When we ask things in an open-ended way, we have to get strategic or creative. So when we ask open-ended questions, people have to respond with strategic, thoughtful, creative answers. Okay, so that's one. Two is the questions have to be open-ended, not closed-ended. The thought number two is they should start out with the words what or how. And if you think like Colin, this is the easiest thing to do. I want to be a really good listener. Well, how do I be a really good listener? I have to get people talking about things that is so interesting to me and to them that I'm totally engrossed in what's happening here. Okay, so how do I do that? I ask an open-ended question. What kind of open-ended question should I ask? They should start with one of two words, either how or what. We do those things and we solve one of the biggest problems that all salespeople and all human beings face today, which is not listening well enough. Good selling, everybody, and subscribe to the channel, please.